Hey, hey, and welcome back to The Order, 1886. Let's cap a fool. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Blammo. Is that even in the face? Shoot him. There you go, right in the face. Oh! Gunshot fade to black. Fuck off, don't tell me that's the end. Oh.
Sir Galahad.
Oh,
The whole of London is looking for you. We mustn't delay.
Oh, after credits. Okay.
Sir Galahad, can you hear me?
What's going on here?
Sir Galahad.
Well, he's got his night gear back on.
Please, Nicola. All is fine.
So you say, my friend. The council has declared martial law throughout the city.
Uh-oh.
There is no telling when the authorities will decide to mount an offensive. Now is not the time for heroics. I would advise we follow Lady Lakshmi's lead and leave the city.
I'll join you shortly.
Hmm.
And don't you know, I'm Galahad.
Uh-oh. Who in the fuck is he? Is he Batman? Alright, alright. More credits. So after the game's ending, I feel like I should talk about how I feel about this game. Let's take a step back and really look at what we've got here. It's a beautifully designed game that has amazing visuals. The characters have amazing facial expressions. I'm not too sure how they did it. They must have used motion capture on them, but they nailed it. That was very good. The backgrounds and environments are absolutely stunning as well. It has a steampunk feel to it, but it's mixed with mythological creatures, like a cryptozoology kind of thing. It's got vampires and werewolves, which I love that kind of stuff. And everyone has a wicked mustache. The story is fairly interesting. It had a couple of plot twists, but it didn't really feel fully fleshed out. I feel like it was fairly basic in concept, and it never really went too far, and I just slammed the fucking microphone. I feel like there should have been a game before this one, because it feels like you should already know these characters. They don't delve too deep into their personalities for you to really build like an emotional connection with them. I think if there was like a prequel comic book or something like that, I think the characters would feel a little bit more recognizable. The universe would feel a little more recognizable. Some points in the game, they vaguely mention events that happened in the past. Then they just kind of gloss over them, and they don't really do anything with it, and then they just continue on with the story. I feel like they painted this colorful world, and they've created it, and you can't really touch anything. Like, it's more of a just look, don't touch kind of universe. Now, the gameplay itself isn't anything new. It's nothing that you haven't seen before. You know, there are a couple of little interesting elements to it that they introduce, but they never really implement them properly, and you don't use them enough times to make it make sense. There's this like lock picking thing that you end up using, and you only do it like 4 times throughout the whole game, which to me is completely unnecessary. You don't have to do it. And there are a couple like Assassin's Creed type things that I don't know, they're really unsure what they want to do with it, because sometimes you'll be going through these Assassin's Creed areas and you push X to jump on the ledge or something like that and then crawl across, and then other times you're pushing triangle. They don't really know what they want to do with it. I also feel like the guns are really miserable. They have horrible accuracy and horrible distance. I mean, I can see if they were trying to keep that 1880s feel to the weapons, but then they just crack out some crazy fucking steampunk zap gun that blows everything up, and it just like, it's really conflicting. The two sides are really fighting with one another, and that's one of the big problems, is that there's a lot of things that are kind of conflicting in this game, that they're trying to put so much into this, and then it doesn't end up really working because they have too many things that they're trying to introduce. Now, the stealth portions of the game are absolutely horrendous. This game was not meant for stealth, especially when you have to wait it's like an activation button for stealth. You have to wait until it zooms in or zones in, and then you can attack. And it completely defeats the purpose of using stealth. Using stealth, you should be able to come up and attack them when you're within distance and not have to wait for the attack to activate. That like I said, it completely misses the whole purpose of using stealth. Now, there are a lot of QuickTime events in this game, but maybe I'm just one of those weird people, but I don't mind QuickTime events. I've never really minded them. I mean, Resident Evil 4 had them, and it had a lot of them, and I didn't have a problem with it. I still really like Resident Evil 4, and I like this game. And it's like, instead of watching a cutscene, you get to interact with it. Like I said, I might be one of those few people who actually like QuickTime events. I'm a little bit of an anomaly. If there is one thing that I can say about this game, it's that I think a lot of people skipped over it because they listened to the reviews and ratings that they gave this game, and they didn't try it out for themselves. Making this game a flop is something that I find really sad, because there could have been an expansion of this universe. This universe is really colorful, an expansion of this story. I feel like it could have been like an episodic adventure, like where, the Order 1886, and then the next one is the Order 1887, or whatever. They could have expanded it and made it really interesting. There's so many things that are left, like so many plot holes, or not plot holes, but there's like the ending is open. It's a vague ending. You're like, fuck, well, what's going to happen now? Is he like going to become a vigilante? Is he going to join up with Guy French, as I was calling him? But I don't know. I feel like it could have been like 3 or 4 episodic games. And I actually heard that there was a sequel in development, but it was canceled because the game was a flop. The game didn't do well. And the reason was because people were giving it bad reviews. And I find that so sad. I mean, I had a few problems with this game, but I actually enjoyed playing it. I mean, the only real problems that I had with it is that it's a cover-based shooter. And I don't like shooters. I feel like, I don't know, it's so weird because I don't mind QuickTime events or QTEs, but I don't like shooters. And this is kind of one where it's like in this balance of differing worlds. But I feel like there's so much more behind this game that people weren't looking at. Like, some of the visuals in this game, I was just thinking about it. And rendering out those visuals in this game must have taken forever. The reason why the game is short is because, and you know what, it's not even really that short, but the reason why it's shorter is because the visuals in this game are absolutely fucking amazing. The size of this game must have been huge. Like, even just to develop it and render it, it must have been crazy. There were hardly ever any graphical glitches. There was the one, and I highlighted it at the end of the episode, where his legs go fucking crazy. But there was no frame drops. Like, I'm not sure if it's running at a full 60, or if it's running, like, if it goes up to 60 and then dips down to 30. But there was never any graphical issues. But I didn't have anything like lag out or completely crash or anything break or anything like that. I'm not sure what the biggest problem with this game was. I think people were really looking for something new and something interesting, and they really overhyped what this game was, and it flopped when they found out that it was just a cover-based shooter game that was fairly short. They probably intended on developing more and didn't really say that, but I think that's where it really flopped, and people just didn't accept it. I did not mind this game whatsoever. I thought it was actually a pretty decent game. I had a lot of fun playing through it. I mean, there are frustrating parts, but every video game has frustrating parts. So I honestly think that everyone should play this game. I know that now it's probably sitting in a bargain bin somewhere that you can pick it up for really cheap. And I highly suggest that you do pick it up. And don't let the ratings and reviews really jade your view on this game. I think you should actually try something before you can say you don't like it. And that's like my final feeling on this game. You should try it before you say you don't like it. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching this series. Like I had said before, I had a lot of fun playing it, and I hope that you pick it up and have fun playing it as well, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.